And we're off. All right. So, for this video, I got my vape in case I need it. I'm going to tell the story about my dad's passing. I didn't do it in last night's video because I probably would have had nightmares. I had nightmares anyway. Yeah, so I'll just jump right in and go from there, and hopefully we won't have any kitty cats walking across the screen this time. Okay, so if you haven't seen any other videos, my dad and mom were great. For all my life. I was around 9 when my dad started getting sick, and that's when he got started having heart trouble and developed the skin cancer, and the skin cancer went untreated, and we didn't know, obviously, because it went untreated, and it took about a year and a half for it to go from melanoma, just one little small spot on his back, to spreading to his lymph nodes. He had a mass in his groin, his liver, I think his kidneys, and then I saw his CAT scan of his brain, and he had 2 large tumors and 1 small tumor in his brain, all inoperable, all terminal. And those tumors were discovered when he had his first seizure in May of 97. And we were living in a subsidized housing unit. It was a townhome. There were just like rows and rows of townhouses, and it was like a whole giant complex, about 2 hours north of Milwaukee. And my grandparents had helped us move up there, helped us get back up on our feet from living in the motel. And we were living there for a while. It was normal for most of 5th grade, and then in May, that's when he had the seizure, and then they discovered the tumors, and that's when I was told that he had cancer. And I was 11. I didn't know anything about cancer. I lived in my own little bubble. And I thought, okay, Daddy has cancer. He's sick, but he'll fight it and he'll get over it. And, just like his heart problems, he'll fight it and he'll get better. I didn't know he was terminal. And I don't know that any of us knew that he was terminal. because in June, just a month later, he was scheduled to take a flight out from Milwaukee. He took a shuttle down to the airport. Like I said, we were 2 hours away from the airport. He was going to go look at houses. Hold on a sec. He was going to look at houses in Tucson for us to move to and go back to work with my uncle with their business that they had before. God only knows why. In his condition, he decided that he should fly. But his flight got delayed, postponed overnight. There was engine trouble or something. And so he had to get a hotel for the night. And his flight was supposed to leave in the afternoon. And it got canceled. And so he was stuck in Milwaukee with no one there. And he was calling us for random things, just to talk. I remember we were in the grocery store parking lot once when he called, and he just called to talk about random stuff. How people say that people know when it's their time, when their time is coming to an end. And I feel like he maybe had a sixth sense and he kind of knew. But he called a few times throughout the afternoon. And then that was the next day was my last day of school. And sorry, flashbacks just come. And I was standing on the steps, heading up to my room. And I had my favorite blanket wrapped around me. And my mom was in the kitchen, and she got a call from him. And he called to tell us that he loves us and good night. And that's when he had another seizure. And we were 2 hours away. I don't know if we knew what hotel he was staying at. But my mom hung up the phone and called 911 right away. And maybe she did know what hotel he was staying at. And maybe she was able to give them information about how to find him. But I just remember watching her. She was freaking out. She didn't know what to do except call 911, and that's all we could do because we were so far away. And I just watched it unfold in front of my eyes, and then, I don't know, something in me just said that he's gone. That my daddy's gone, and my heart was broken. And nothing is going to replace that or fix it. And nothing has to this day. I just miss him so much. It was Daddy's little girl. And, so, when I got that feeling that he's gone, I went upstairs and I went to bed. And then the next morning, my mom came into my room and told me that Daddy died. And I just said, I know. I felt it. I felt that he was gone. And, nothing has been the same since. So, we had his funeral a few days later. And my mom thought that it would be a good idea if I were to watch my little brother outside while the funeral was happening. So I never got to say goodbye. And I'll go to his grave occasionally. And I could never say goodbye. I hate going because I feel like I'm leaving him there. And I don't want to leave him there because I feel like he's alone again. And I don't want to leave him alone. Because he was alone when he died. And he deserve to be my loved ones. He didn't deserve to die alone. And that's the story of my dad's death. I'll do another post tonight.